festive of occasions, the celebration of Saturalia. Saturalia takes place on the 25th of Evening Star and is a festival of warmth and good cheer, of gift-giving and feasting. And we find ourselves here at the Solitude Lighthouse tonight with the two great moons, Masser and Secunda, bright in the sky. We've come here to visit one of my very favorite seasonal shops, the Merry Snowberry. The proprietors here stock all sorts of Saturalia treats, from delectable goodies to holiday decor and much more. I thought it would be nice to browse their wares before we head on over to Solitude to visit a friend of mine and stay with them at their abode for the season. Let's head on inside and see what seasonal treats we can find. Oh, that is much better. You can hear the bitter cold wind blowing off the sea of ghosts outside, whistling through the rafters. But inside, it's warm and comfortable. It smells of Saturalia treats, warm scents of cinnamon and chocolate, of stewed winter berries and roasting meats, gingerbread, and much more. Here we have a humble Saturalia tree and some stockings decorated with soul gems and candy canes. This is, of course, a season of gift giving. In the ancient Breton tradition, gifts are given on Saturalia morning, exchanged with friends and loved ones. And of course, evergreen trees are decorated with all manner of bright and shiny baubles. The evergreen trees represent resilience and regrowth, which is central to the Saturalia festival, as over the years it has become blended with the New Life Festival, which occurs on the 1st of the new year. Here we can see ingredients used in holiday cooking: honey, winter berries, all kinds of fruit and vegetable, and of course, Saturalia baking with crusty farls of bread baking in the oven. Well, this was lovely to warm up and get in the spirit, but we'd best head off to Solitude. The biting cold of the winter night from here to Solitude, but after our warming visit to the merry Snowberry, I think we'll be able to withstand the elements. Solitude, of course, visible in the distance, the blue palace, and more perched atop its great arch. And you know, there's something very special about a wintertime wander. A walk in the brisk night. That wind blowing off the sea, carrying the smell of salt and snow. To the north, we would find Karlov Manor, were we to head that way. Karlov Manor is where we visited earlier in the year for All Hallows Eve, and I've heard that they do put on a spectacular display for Saturalia as well. Perhaps we will visit there another year. But tonight, we are headed to Solitude, under the silvery light of the twin moons. It's the perfect weather for a Saturalia wander, really. Delicate snowflakes are dancing to and fro. Can you feel them landing on your face, melting on your tongue? The cold air in the lungs is gently invigorating, and the whole world is suffused with ethereal, silvery moonlight. It feels magical, perfect. We've wandered a bit further down the road now. Solitude looms above, and even just this little distance down the path, the climate has changed markedly. The weather has shifted. The clouds have lifted, and the sky is full of a million twinkling stars. Sheltered here as we are from the cold winds blowing off the North Sea, we can enjoy the scent of the pines and the relative warmth of this area. The moons are brilliant, almost blindingly bright in the sky. The stars are so vivid. Saturalia is a fascinating holiday in that it was not always celebrated by all of Tamriel. It began as a Breton tradition and spread from there across the continent with the flow of trade and the exchange of culture. Many found it a lovely way to cap off the year. Did you see that there? there was a shooting star just a moment ago. A lovely way to cap off the year in warmth and comfort among friends and family. Across much of Tamriel, the Old Life Festival was traditionally celebrated at the end of one year, and the New Life Festival at the beginning of the next. These traditions are still observed by many, especially Imperials, but they have become blended with the Saturalia traditions that came from the Bretons. And I'm glad for it, because these Saturalia wanders are very special to me. Look at the sky, friends. The vault of innumerable twinkling lights shining. The magic of Aetherius down upon us on this most special of eves. The sky here filled with not only stars and brilliant nebulas, but also the hawks which characterize the skies around Solitude. And perched atop its massive arch, Solitude sits quietly in the brilliant silver moonlight. Oh, did you see another shooting star? Surely that's a good omen. Perhaps there is a certain magic to tonight. Perhaps the gods are watching down upon us and blessing us at this time of year. Who can say? Who can say? It's markedly warmer here than where we began on the exposed northern coast at the Solitude Lighthouse, and that's probably partly why this is where the Imperials chose to build their greatest harbor, where trade ships from all the nations arrive, bringing goods and travelers. At this time of year, those ships are very busy indeed, of course, bringing visitors from afar, all sorts of seasonal goods, whether the ingredients for feasts or the popular Saturalia gifts that are exchanged among friends and family. And of all the cities of Skyrim, Solitude has perhaps the strongest Saturalia traditions. Here we are so far from the border with high rock. And as such, the Saturalia celebrations here are some of the richest and most famous in the nation, stretching back the longest as well. Travelers come from far and wide to partake in Solitude's Saturalia festivities. That being said, it's quite late on the eve before Saturalia, and most people have probably retired to bed, men and mer alike, getting a good winter's rest before a day of gift-giving and feasting tomorrow. It means the roads and paths are largely empty, but that's how I prefer it for our wanders. It allows us to quietly drink in the serene beauty of our locales, enjoy some solitude of our own while we wander these ancient roads. We pass now through the Squall Gate, the lesser of the two great stone gates that protect Solitude. And before us the Storm Gate is bathed in the ethereal light of Masser, truly putting on a spectacular show for this most magical of nights. And here we see our first taste of the decorations that await within. A Saturalia tree and some seasonal candles, and someone who is dressed for the season. A merchant, perhaps. Let's head on into the city of Solitude. And here we are inside Solitude's great walls. The moon streaming down its pale light, and the stars providing the most dramatic backdrop to this cozy city. I was saying most men and mer would be tucked away asleep tonight, but clearly these carolers are out and about. They have songs to sing throughout the night, passing from street to street, window to window. The buildings here are, of course, adorned with Saturalia decorations, the most popular being these luminescent Welkin stone lights, which are arranged in rows along the roof lines. They're somewhat reminiscent of the stars in the sky, aren't they? As we've already seen, the Saturalia tree is, of course, a beloved tradition. And here we have one of the biggest I've yet seen, adorned with all manner of brightly colored baubles and lights. And our destination lies just ahead. A good friend of mine has offered their home here for us to stay over the holidays. And a beautiful home it is. This is the Springwood estate, although perhaps right now it should more appropriately be called the Winterwood estate. Most of the year it is a lush, beautiful home. Now it is finely adorned, decorated for the Saturalia season in fine style. Those decorations begin on the exterior. We can see here paper chains and glittering stars hanging from them. These are popular Saturalia decorations found throughout Skyrim at this time of year. Equally popular are holiday wreaths bedecked in shiny red and green baubles. And over here, looks like we have a lovely little wading pool. Beside it, an elegant statue, also decked out for the season with winter garland, a beautiful star, and shiny ornaments. As lovely as it is out here on the terrace, it is starting to get a little bit chilly. Now that we're up higher, that breeze from the sea has picked up again, and it's nipping at my fingertips. So I think it's time we head on inside and we warm ourselves with perhaps a fine holiday drink and a roaring fire. And what a warm and festive interior it is. This exceeds my hopes. Look at how beautifully decorated the interior is here, with crimson and gold garlands, glittering stars, even a decorated shrub over in the corner with children's toys beneath. This could not be any cozier. I smell fresh baking. It smells like bread and cakes. Delicious holiday treats. A bowl of rosy apples here on the counter. A cask of good ale in the corner. Oh, the light here is adorned with beautiful red holly berries. Perfect for the season. This is certainly a well-stocked kitchen. all sorts of holiday feasting. Over here in the corner, bottles of mead, fresh bread, and some sort of winterberry tart by the looks of it, or flan maybe. I don't know, I'm not a baker. Little cakes in the warm oven. A profusion of delicious foods ready for feasting. And over here, the products of the labors in the kitchen. What a holiday spread this is. Some candy canes here on the corner of the great table, covered in all sorts of festive bites, from winterberry pies to crusty breads and much more. Even the candles here are seasonal, with more little berries and holly leaves adorning this bowl. I think I spy some boiled cream treats on the table here, and more candy canes besides, and a honey nut treat next to, you guessed it, a sweet roll, everybody's favorite holiday dessert. Aged cheese and much more round out the feast. And over here, by the warm, crackling hearth, we have a decorated Yule log and a pair of Yule stockings. Garlands and baubles hang above, and a brilliant gold and silver star adorns the top of the mantelpiece. Now, I believe we've been granted the use of the entire manor for the holiday season. So, let's go see what's upstairs. Another beautiful room decorated for the holidays. A smaller, more humble spread on this table here. Another boiled cream treat and a gingerbread cookie. A beautiful latticed apple pie, and of course, another sweet roll. Couple of bottles of hearty winter ale as well. Oh, and this seems to be where the gifts have been laid out. In a house this well appointed, one expects to find delightful Saturalia gifts, and indeed that appears to be the case here, all at the foot of a beautiful Saturalia tree. Through this door is the master bedroom, and it looks like the perfect place for a long winter's nap, doesn't it? Oh, it seems the doors close by themselves here. Even in the main bedroom, we have yet another Saturalia tree next to what appears to be a gorgeous harp. Look at that. is, of course, the city of Bards, with the Bards College being located here. Another holiday wreath. And what have we here? Oh my, a delightfully warm-looking bath steaming away, which is exactly what I need after our chilly winter wander. That will be delightful. Yes, this will do quite nicely for our seasonal rest. But for now, let's head back downstairs and enjoy some of the lovely hospitality of this beautifully decorated manor. It is getting quite late after all, and most are abed. Tomorrow morning, Saturalia morning, will be a busy one, no doubt, with much food to be eaten, gifts to be exchanged, and so perhaps it would be good for us to wind down for the night, enjoy the warmth of the fire, and a couple of seasonal treats before retiring to bed. Let's take a seat in this inviting chair by the hearth. That is exactly what I needed for my cold, weary feet, and hopefully you feel the same. We have some lovely mead and a delectable looking cookie for us to enjoy here. We'll share it, of course. You are welcome to some as well. And you are equally welcome to the warmth of this festive fire. This hearth is, of course, appropriately decorated for this season with more holly wreaths, stockings, and a festive Yule log. And this will make the perfect place for us to wind down and spend the evening before settling in for a long and comfortable winter's sleep. My friends, thank you so much for joining me once again for another Saturalia wander in Skyrim. I truly hope that you and yours have a delightful season, whatever you may celebrate at this time of year, whether Saturalia, Christmas, Hanukkah, Yule, or anything else. I wish you the very best of the holidays, and I look very forward to seeing you here again next time. Farewell for now, my dear friends. Speaking of good friends and long-standing traditions, it's time that I give thanks to this channel's amazing supporters, these legendary individuals that you see laid out before you here. Many of these fine folks have been with us for years and years and years, and I appreciate their support so very much. I extend my thanks to everyone you see here, of course, but there is one very special tier, the Fusroda tier, and those mighty heroes get their names read in a special spoken thank you in every one of my videos. And you are about to hear those illustrious names right now, starting with Ragnar Ragnarsson, Joe TCL, Jake Luffney, and last but certainly not least, Drummer Brit. I extend my heartfelt thanks, especially at this time of year, a time of year about where we're thinking about what we hold most dear, what we are grateful for. I extend my heartfelt thanks to these individuals and everyone that you see here, and you as well, dear viewer or listener. In fact, anybody who watches or listens to what I put out there. I've been doing this for a very long time, and it means a lot to me that people continue to enjoy and support what I do. So thank you to our amazing supporters, and that includes all of you